So earlier this year, I saw a little film called Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, and I absolutely loved it. It is easily one of my favorite films of the year so far. Probably want to actually include it on my ranking of every film I've seen in 2026 because it's technically a 2025 film because I got released at some film festivals. But whatever. Still, really good film. Absolutely love it. And I recommend anybody who loves weird movies to go check it out. You don't even need to have seen the show it was based on. And I can say that because I hadn't seen the show it was based on until now. I have now watched through the entirety of Nirvana, the band, the show. I say as if it's some like huge undertaking when it's like a two-season show with like 14, 15 episodes in total. And yeah, I feel like there's not like it is definitely different from the film, but at the same time it really isn't. Like it's much more focused on like schemes that they're doing to like try and get a gig at the Rivoli than the film was, which was kind of where the film started, but then quickly turned into something else. But at the same time, there are a lot of episodes of this show that start as just them trying to get a show at the Rivoli, but then turns into something else. And yeah, again, there are some things I didn't really know about the show before watching the film. Like, for example, I wasn't really sure how much of it was like staged, and I kind of assumed that some of the more outrageous parts of the movie were like just staged or like fixed to look real later. But after watching this show and seeing how much insane stuff they actually did in real life, it's like, okay, so some of the insane stuff they did in the movie might have actually been done for real, and that's nuts. And that's what's so amazing about this show is like it has the same chaotic energy as the movie, kind of more grounded, but at the same time not really that much more grounded. Like it's still nuts. I would say that probably there are easily no episodes of the show that I would say are bad. Honestly, no episodes of the show I'd even say are like just okay. Like every episode of the show I really enjoyed. There's tons of hilarious moments. Matt Johnson, at this point I'm convinced he's like one of the best acting manic actors I've ever seen because he is hilarious in every episode and he has so many hilarious moments. Not to say anything, not to like downplay Jay McCarroll because he's also really funny, and the fact that he's so talented shows his talent with the piano so much is great. And there's just so many great moments in this show, and like I ultimately decided that kind of the best way to talk about the show is to actually do. Maybe I would do a ranking for every episode of the show, and I'm assuming it's not going to take that long because like I said, there's only like 14, 15 episodes, but and I don't really have a lot to say about each one because like this is one of those shows where like you kind of can get across your general thoughts very easily, I think. But there are some where I do have a bit more to say as we get closer to the top. So I will start with the least great episode of the show, which I say because again, like even this episode, which is the least great, I would say is like a solid 8 out of 10, like a really good episode and really funny is the buddy, the one where Matt Johnson dresses up as another person and pretends to be this other person to Jay. The only reason I kind of put at the bottom is because, like, I don't know, I honestly kind of found this other persona Matt puts on kind of annoying. And, like, that's probably at least kind of the point, but at the same time, like, I don't know. He just kind of annoyed me a little bit. I didn't really find much of what he said as the persona funny. I will say later in the episode when Matt had to like start quickly going from one character to the like himself to this other character at the restaurant and in like an homage to Mrs. Doubtfire, which they even used the music from. I did enjoy that, and again, that's why I still like the episode. And there are still some. He still does have some funny moments as the other guy, but for the most part, I honestly just found that other version of him kind of annoying. But and also, by the way, I guess this does bring up something I did not. I knew that there were a lot of parodies of famous shows and movies in each episode. I did not realize that the fact that like the way they used a ton of Back to the Future music in the movie that they also use a ton of music from whatever they're parodying in the episodes. So you get a lot of music from Mrs. Doubtfire in this episode, and I'll go over more examples as we go on, I guess. Next up is The Boy, the one where Matt and Jay try and use the Make a Wish kid to try and get him to make a wish they could do a show at the Rivoli. Again, this is still a very good episode, and I find some of their antics with the boy pretty entertaining. I like the amusement park scenes are pretty good. And I really like their use of hide and seek by Imogen Heap. Like, it was very clearly tongue in cheek to the fact that that song is used way too much in dramatic scenes in different TV shows. Really, my only real complaint and the thing that kind of took me out of it is the whole storyline with like Jay's mom like saying these random things to him when he was a kid, like video game day, you can't do that, you're gonna lose your eyes or whatever. And he interprets that, and since there was a commercial for this theme park on the TV while she was talking to him, he like thought she was also talking about you can't go to a theme park, it's dangerous. So I don't know, that whole thing was just kind of weird. Even for this show, I thought it was a bit much, but still, this was an overall good episode. Definitely enjoyed it. Next up is the booking. This one I would say is probably the definition of just another episode. Again, very good, 8 out of 10, but like it is definitely like just sort of the episode where I most think just sort of them doing the thing they do every episode. Like, we have a plan to get into the Reveille, we're gonna try and get into a magazine, and then they just sort of, and then like like I said again, there are definitely entertaining moments, like just seeing Matt break into this magazine and try and do this whole thing to get literally try and call the Rivoli from the magazine. I thought was pretty entertaining, and again, it's more entertaining when you know he most likely really broke into this magazine as like as like a phone repairman and actually called the Rivoli from this phone. But again, just I don't know. There's not. This is like one of the few episodes. There's just not a ton of moments I remember. It's the most, again, kind of the most. This is what the show is usually like energy, which again, I like the episode. Just this is the one that's doesn't really stand out. Is like the one that blends in the most with just the show as a whole. Next up is the burger. Yeah, this is where pretty much from here we're at the really good stuff. Like, three episodes are the only ones that I would say 8 out of 10. Everything else is a 9 or above. And the burger is a really good, really funny episode. I liked all of the different references to Wahlburgers. Like, again, just the fact that they worked Wahlburgers into an episode is great. I really enjoyed the scene at the improv class. Like, again, I get the idea that like they just went to this improv class and just filmed what ended up happening. Like, they probably purposefully bombed some stuff so he could like serve the story. But again, it's just really entertaining to watch. And again, just the fact that that a part of their plan is to get on the jumbotron, kiss, and again, part of the plan is everyone will see this kiss and start throwing up so much that like vomit starts flooding the stadium, which I just thought was which again just shows that these characters are really dumb but also really funny. And again, just the idea of the magic of Matt eating this magic, convinced eating this burger is magic and makes his wishes come true is really funny. Again, this is just from here on out. This is where every episode kind of has a ton of really great, really memorable moments. Next up is the bank. This one I do have it ranked a bit lower just because this is kind of one of the more not bad, not just kind of like most weird. And again, usually I like that, but and again, I really like this one, 9 out of 10 episode. But it is kind of like we're really kind of stepping away from the whole idea of the show. Like, the whole scene at the library where they're trying to 3D print a gun was great. Like, just them again, they really did this and just tried not to get caught. And again, Matt trying to stop the bank robbery by just running into the room and yelling, "And his name is John Cena!" was great. Really, like, again, my only complaint is that like part of, even though I said earlier that just that like you don't need the genuine reactions for it to work, I do that is something I just kind of missed here, because like pretty much everyone involved here except for like the crowd was in on it, which I was kind of, which again, like, obviously you can't just like take fake hostages or real hostages or call real cops, but I was kind of like, I mean, like, I get you can't do this for real, but like, I don't know. Maybe if like the hostages played more of a role, like they were more characters, but like really just kind of focused on Matt and Jay, kind of like trying to figure out how to be like bank robbers. Which I get, and like it is also kind of weird because like they literally could have just like sat there with the other hostages and pretended that they knew nothing that was going on, and they probably would have been fine. But whatever, I don't know, whatever, not a big deal. Still really entertaining and still a lot of really funny moments. And again, just the overly dramatic. Like again, I knew at the end that Jay didn't really shoot Matt like that, but I was kind of like, but how are they gonna get out of it though? Next up is the final episode, the Band List 2. This one again, this one is very funny. A lot of really funny moments with them just stuck on this roof, like, and also, and like, yeah, just I really liked how again, just stuff like Jay trying to get Matt, or no, it was, yeah, Matt trying to get Jay to knock the freaking AC repairman out with a brick, and like, just that moment where like those two guys on the other roof see them stuck up there was pretty funny. And I also do find it interesting how we find out that like that one guy that Jay met at the party from the buddy actually comes back, and Jay wanted to get a job interview with him. I actually found it pretty interesting the way they kind of showed off that some little things throughout the season actually ended up adding up to something. Really, my only complaint is that they never followed up on this, and I get why. Like, I know the whole story about the third season that they shot, but ultimately didn't get aired because of the problems with the distribution company. And like, I do kind of wish though that since they thought this would never get released, maybe they should have followed up on this in Nirvana the Man, the show, the movie. But who knows? Maybe the success of that will lead to season three coming out. But and hey, maybe if season three ever does come out, I'll end up ranking this episode higher because that's really my only issue with it. But as is, it is kind of just a weird spot to like end the show. I guess but again, you could just watch the movie to get a better ending for these characters. Next up is the book, and like again, this is one of the episodes where like even though they don't interact with many real people, I don't mind because the antics they get up to are just really funny. Like the whole Honey I Shrunk the Kids situation that Jay gets into is really funny. I find just the whole concept of the book funny and all these different things they end up getting up to. And yeah, Werewolf Jay at the end was really like that had me laughing really hard. And again, just like things like when Matt discovers that Jay is small, like for some reason he wants to eat him. And again, just all these very funny moments with the book, and just even kind of creative things they do with Jay being so tiny. Again, my only real issue is that like the ending is just really weird. Like Jay gets shot, and that's just where it ends. Like I guess this is supposed to be like a non-canon Treehouse of Horror type thing, which I mean, there's a magic spell book, so I guess that should have been obvious. But again, the movie has time travel. I don't think buying it that a magic book just exists in this universe is that weird. But again, really small complaint. Overall, really funny episode. Next up is the first episode, the one that started it all, The Banner. Like again, this is kind of like the booking where it's kind of like just a simple episode of the show, not much more to it than that, but this one I think is a lot fun. Is has more classic moments, like just everything with the banner, all the Jurassic Park references, what ends up happening with the banner, and the reason that they can't that they have to take it down. Like the stupid disguises, the arrow that Matt accidentally paints on the banner pointing to Jay's member, I thought was really like all these scenes are just a real bunch of really funny moments. The whole bit with like them thinking, "Oh, how do you calm down? Smoking." It's because Samuel Jackson smoked in Jurassic Park, and he was calm as a cucumber. Like again, just a lot of really funny moments in this episode. No real complaints, really. It was just really funny. Next up is the band. Like again, this one, I don't know. It's not like I would say it doesn't have as many funny moments as the one I just talked about, but I do like how this is actually kind of trying to follow through on a plot. Like actually trying to do like a whole like something they said at the beginning where like we should do one plan and stick to it, which is something they said at the beginning of season two. they kind of do start doing that here, and this is where like the whole big storyline starts coming to a head, and I really appreciate that. And it does have a lot of funny moments. Like I liked um yeah, when they get the outfits at the clothing store. And oh yeah, I forgot about the IT guy. I really like the IT guy in this. Like you can tell they just went into this computer store, and at first they didn't have any plans to use this guy, but they were just like, "Hey, wouldn't it be funny if we used him?" So they probably told him after they shot that scene like, "Hey, this is a TV show. Do you want to just shoot some stuff with us?" And again, the fact they really had this guy, you can tell they actually had this guy go into the Rivoli and try and log into their computer. And just the fact they even had a Rivoli employee that Rivoli employee at one point went up to him and said, "Sir, what's going on? What are you doing?" Again, you can tell none of that was staged. You can tell they literally just went to the Rivoli and tried to hack into the computer, which is really funny. Honestly, I kind of I know they already made a season 3, but I do hope if a season 3 gets made, they bring this guy back because I actually really liked him. He was just really weird, and I thought he added a good energy to the group. And yeah, like not much more to it, just really funny, and I really liked the inclusion of the IT guy. Next up is the boost. Again, this is another just really funny episode, a ton of classic moments. just Matt just keep on giving Jay all these different drugs. Him describing the drugs as Mike and Ike flavored. What kind? No, it's like, what kind of candies are these? They're Mike and Ike. Mike and Ike. What flavor is this? Mike and Ike. Oh, okay. Oh no, good and plenty. What flavor candy is this? Good and plenty. Oh, okay. And he just takes it and he eats it. And again, just like a lot of really funny moments with the gaming competition and Matt trying to cut those wires. And again, some really funny homages to like GoldenEye 007, the game. That's just again just an episode with a lot of really funny moments. Not much more to say. Just a lot of good moments. Next up is the Blind Side, and this is probably not the most, because we'll get to that later, but the episode where I second most asked, how the hell did they do that? Because they literally went to the premiere of The Force Awakens, partially filmed inside of a movie theater showing it, and then proceeded to, and actually got kicked out. Like, again, you can tell none of this was staged. They just went to an actual movie theater, annoyed people until they got kicked out, and then showed the actual footage of this basically a cam rip of the movie on their show. And it's insane they got away with this. And again, a lot of really funny moments, like Matt thinking he's dressed as Han Solo, but he's actually not. But like Jay's the one dressed as Han Solo were pretty funny. And yeah, that whole scene where Matt came out dressed up as Daredevil was amazing. Just the opening parody of Daredevil was really good. And again, just like so many great moments in here. Like just Matt being blind is amazing. A lot of great moments here. And there's just a lot of stuff where you're like, how the hell did they do that? Next up is the buffet. This one is like one of the only episode where I would say the drama actually enhances it. Like, it starts out as just like seemingly another like funny episode with a lot of good moments. And at first I was kind of like, wow, there's like a lot of stuff happening that seems like legit. Like, did they actually, like, how lucky were they to get all this crazy stuff happening at this restaurant today? But then, like, again, there is like a genuine twist at the end where all that stuff happened, but one of them doesn't know about it, which is crazy, I think. And there's like a good genuine like drama here with like Jay and Matt, like trying to form like a genuine, it really highlights how major their friendship is, and how even though like sometimes Jay will get annoyed at Matt and like want him to take things more seriously and like maybe give up on the Rivoli plans, at the end of the day they really are all each other has. This is kind of undone by like some of like the second season where Jay tries to get the job at the jingle company, and in the movie where Jay tries to abandon Matt again, which kind of seems like him just not learning his lesson from this episode. But like realistically, I think this is still a really good episode with a lot of good heartfelt moments, and obviously a lot of really funny moments. Next up is actually one thing I do want to bring up, like Matt the fact that Matt keeps interrupting Jay before he can read the letter. Like, at first it did kind of seem like he knows what's in the letter, but like at the same time it's funny because Matt is so obnoxious to Jay usually that like you can buy that he's just interrupting him just for the sake of interrupting him. And that's I think that's really a good detail. Next up, and these next four episodes, I'll pretty much consider perfect. Like, no flaws, really. I think these are all genuine 10 out of 10 episodes of TV. Next up is The B Day. And, like, yeah, everything up. This is just another episode with a ton of really funny moments, but easily some of the. Probably the best parody intro from the show. Like, the fact that, like, it opens up with this, like, Walking Dead parody with all these people who are high trying to take Matt's snacks is so funny. And the fact that he's like is like, yeah, just put this toonie on the ground, and there you go. And now we can find each other through that, which like is really funny. Not only because they're really standing in front of a booth. How about you just meet in front of the booth, but then they get lost, and like Jay accidentally getting high is really funny. And like all the interactions he has with people, like again, you can tell a lot of these interactions he has with people are real, and they decided to craft the story around it. It really works. And yeah, and Matt's whole thing where like he tries to get a birthday present, like he goes shopping, ends up getting stuff for him is pretty funny. And when he goes to the Rivoli and says, "Where I want to get a show at the Rivoli for my friend for his birthday," and she goes, "You're a band," and he hears, "We're band." Again, is really funny, and a lot of confusion that this leads to in the future episodes with band BANED list and band BAND list is really funny. This is just a real, and again, like the ending that kind of parodies Breaking Bad with Matt becoming Heisenberg or the symbiote, I guess, if considering the Spider-Man 3 reference in the final episode. Like this is again just another episode with a lot of great moments. And speaking of episodes, with a lot of great moments. Next up, the band list. Again, and this is the episode that most had me wondering how the hell did they do that? That opening scene where they break into the museum, or they, not break in, but like they go into the museum, steal the map, and run away. It's like, okay, I know they didn't actually break into a museum. There's no way in hell they really did that. But how the hell did they do that? Because it legit looks like they just broke into this museum and stole something. There is like a podcast out there that like explains what really happened, and if you watch this episode and you're interested, try looking it up because it is pretty easy to find online. And like but even then, once I knew it, it was just like so crazy how they did it and how much of it was still kind of sort of real is nuts. And even then, once that's over, like them breaking into the sewers, the whole like there's a lot of funny stuff they do in the sewers. The Indiana Jones parody at the beginning is really funny. Like there's just a lot. Again, this is another episode with a lot of really funny moments, and there's a genuine kind of suspense when they actually get inside the Rivoli, and something kind of satisfying about them actually being in the Rivoli band room is pretty cool. Next up is The Big Time, the Sundance episode. And again, I do part of it is because again, I just think it's hilarious that Matt Johnson actually had a film that played at Sundance, and he decided to use that to make an episode of his show. Like so many interviews, they just spliced in these specific phrases so that they could he dropped so many little phrases so that they could edit it so it looks like it's the character, not the actual person, is amazing. The fact they actually play the stupid short film they make is hilarious, and the fact they actually play it for real audiences is amazing. And yeah, just the scenes of like Matt getting drunk and going around and like trying to get them to play their stupid film are really funny. Like this is another episode where it's just where it's both really funny and just insane amount of respect for all the stuff they really did. And finally, best episode of the show, The Bean. And what's funny is this is kind of again another episode where like there's not that much real interaction with like real people. There's some, but it's pretty minimal. But like even then, this is easily the episode that does like the references the best. Like it's one big home. There's a bunch of references to Home Alone, and each one of them is hilarious. Like the opening, the scene where Matt tells Jay the story about like the strangler, Jay running from Matt in the truck. The scene where Jay literally does the Daniel Stern scream when they ask what time is it? 7. And again, they play like the music from when they go to run in the airport is really funny. And again, like it's proves because like I thought they really went to an airport at first, but like no, what then I think more about it, it's like, no, they probably just sliced themselves into like actual footage from Home Alone, which is another thing that's really impressive. They keep slicing themselves into footage from things or like taking things from other films and putting them in the show. Like in the book, they had took Van Pelt from Jumanji and put him in their show. That's amazing. And like, yeah, it's just like all these really funny references. And even then, outside of the references, like them getting take drinking all this coffee and like just like not being able to figure out why they can't fall asleep is great. And like all the stuff they do to try and prep for the float, try and prep the float for the Christmas parade is really funny. Even just like some of the few genuine interactions we get with people at the Christmas parade is pretty funny. Like Matt driving up to a cop and saying, "We can just ram all these people. You can't stop us," is great. And again, just like all these weird people they meet at the end, and like all like Matt being like, "Oh, I forgive you." At first, I was like, "I don't actually forgive you, and I'm gonna get my revenge." But then I got over it, and I really did forgive you. Like, just again, tons of great moments, and actually, and some genuine moments where you can tell that why they're friends like they are. This will probably be an episode I end up watching every Christmas. And yeah, that's it. Those are my thoughts on Nirvana, the band, the show, and every episode ranked. Hopefully, you at least got somewhat of an idea of why I love the show as much as I do. This was great. I was so glad that I got the chance to watch it. I'm so glad that the movie managed, this already great movie managed to introduce me to possibly an even better show. Like, I can't say for sure which one I think is better, but they're just both great. And I have no regrets about watching either of them. I'm so happy I got to see them. And I'm going to give Nirvana, the band, the show, an A. So those are my thoughts. If you've seen the show, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. Maybe even share what are some of your favorite episodes, or if there are any episodes you think are weaker than the others. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to see more reviews like this in the future. And on that note, I will see you next time. Have a great day.